Hey everybody, it's Jill with Pink Shades Travel, and today we are going to talk about 6 cinematic haunted destinations that you gotta visit. So stick around and hear my top 6. So today we're going to talk about the 6 cinematic haunted horror sites that you got to explore now that it's spooky season, right? It's October. We're in the height of spooky season and dark tourism and haunted vacations and all that good stuff. So you're going to recognize all of these today. They're going to be familiar to you because they're from some of the most popular horror movies that all of us will know and love. So you'll be familiar with them. But the first one on my list is the Timberline Lodge in Mount Hood, Oregon. You're going to recognize this one from the 1980s film, The Shining. And so a lot of people mistake the Stanley Hotel as the hotel from The Shining, but the Stanley only served as the inspiration for the Overlook Hotel in Stephen King's novel. Timberline Lodge is located atop Mount Hood, and it is easily recognizable by any Stephen King or Kubrick fan, the director of the movie. And a lot of tourists come to Mount Hood to hike, ski, snowboard, all of those good winter outdoor activities. But horror movie fans and haunted tourists come in honor of the 80s film. So if you're a horror movie fan, the most exhilarating part of Mount Hood, or getting to Mount Hood, is that winding road that was filmed for the beginning of the movie. So you know the opening shots of The Shining are just anxiety inducing as you're watching that car speedily driving on that road. So you will definitely feel like you're a character in The Shining as you're approaching the Timberline Lodge. The next one is the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, also from The Shining. And not to give too much attention to it, but I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't give the Stanley Hotel its moment. Stephen King took much of his inspiration for the Overlook Hotel from the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, not far from the Rocky Mountains. It was built in a colonial revival architectural style, and so the hotel's not only spooky, but objectively it's beautiful. So while visiting this historic landmark, keep your eye out for ghosts though. But also enjoy the dining, the spa, the views of the Lake Estes, and obviously the views of the Rockies. They're beautiful. Next up is the House of Seven Gables in Salem, Massachusetts, from the movie The House of Seven Gables. So Salem isn't only famous for being the location of the notorious and tragic Salem witch trials. It's also the home of famous 19th century American writer Nathaniel Hawthorne. And some of his works that you'll know include The Scarlet Letter, Fanshawe, and The House of Seven Gables. This novel's name and inspiration comes from a home in the heart of Salem. Although Hawthorne's tale is considered a love story, it discusses the witch trials at length and the wrongfully accused, exuding themes that are innately haunting. The home itself is Gothic, nearly completely black with 7 gables, the really sharp points, and it's kind of reminiscent of the pointy witch hats that we see all the time. But anyone can visit the house. It is open to the public. Next is Bran Castle in Bran, Romania. Located in central Romania, Bran Castle is notoriously known worldwide as the inspiration and home of Count Dracula. Although there is no way to confirm that this castle is the inspiration for Bram Stoker's Gothic horror novel, it has been globally and touristically decided as Count Dracula's home. People from far and wide travel to visit the home of the world's most famous vampire. But it is home to an expansive art collection, and the castle currently acts as an art and historical museum representing Romanian history. Their art, their culture, all of that. So you can explore the corridors and corners of the castle and see all about the culture and learn, but you may also find the hairs on the nape of your neck standing up while you're there. So Next is the Exorcist Steps in Georgetown in Washington, D.C. The Exorcist was a 1973 horror movie. In my opinion, there will not be another one more horrifying than The Exorcist. It follows a little girl's descent into demonic possession and the priest that fights to release her from it. And so one of the most famous scenes involves a set of steps located in Georgetown, right at the corner of Prospect and 36th Street. And this set of what appears to be ordinary steps are considered a cornerstone in the haunted horror film culture, as well as a major destination for those interested in haunted and dark tourism. Not only are the steps an Exorcist landmark, but the house that was used for the exterior shots in the movie is right down the street as well. Last on my list today is the Dakota in Manhattan, New York, from the 1968 movie Rosemary's Baby. This stunning apartment building is located right off of Central Park, and it looks more like a miniature castle than it does an apartment building. It's got stunning architecture. So it's known for being the central location of the film starring Mia Farrow. But the Dakota has its own horrifying history filled with ghosts and phantoms and all kinds of stuff. But most notoriously, it's known for being the final home of former Beatle and musician John Lennon before he was murdered outside of his apartment in 1980. So beyond the murder of John Lennon, the Dakota is known for having some poltergeists that glide up and down the halls. And one of these ghosts is a 19th century little girl dressed in all, well, she's got a white dress with a red bouncing ball, but all the residents say that she's quite friendly. So these are just a few of many spooky cinematic or literary locations that one can visit during their haunted tours and dark tourism. So if there are any other iconic destinations that you feel like missed the list that I should have included, feel free to drop them in the comments. If you're looking to do a haunted vacation or a long weekend of haunted locations or some type of ghost tours or tourism, you can find me at www.pinkshadestravel.com, and you will find links to all of our socials there. You'll find an opportunity to set up a consultation with me where we can talk about what type of vacation you want to take. So certainly reach out if you're interested in some dark tourism, whether it's true crime, haunted places, any of that good stuff. That's all I got. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.